But listen, they say that MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is resigning from Congress. That's crazy. Like, she just started getting into it with Trump. Like, for me, America first, we need to have dissenting voices within any party. We can't have a uniparty. You know, I used to call the Democrats the control left. Like, if you go against Pelosi, you go against the establishment, you're out. You know what I mean? It's your turn on the left. You know what I mean? It's Hillary's turn. It's Biden's turn. You can't have no Bernie. You can't have no Tulsi. You can't have what you want. You're going to get what the party gives you. And now the right, the Republican Party, is turning into it's either Trump's way or no way. And like, we can't have room for dissenting voices on the right. What's going on? Let's hear what she has to say. I want to hear it.
Everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle.
That's a fact. We have a uniparty. Basically, the same interests that control the Republicans control the Democrats. It's the same shit on both sides. So yeah, she's right about that. Let's let her rock.
In order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman.
That's a fact. This shit wouldn't have been better under Kamala. It's not better under Trump. It's just bad all the way around. But keep it going.
The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest. And the spending power of the dollar continues to decline.
That's a fact. Like, it's funny. I just saw Max B. He got out of prison, right? And then TMZ interviewed him, and all the things he could have said. You know, he got locked up around 2008, 2009. He just got out just like a week ago, right? And they asked him, been the biggest change that you've seen? Mind you, there was no DoorDash, no Tinder, no, you know what I mean, crazy iPhones. Like a lot of stuff that's happened between 2008, 2009, and now. You know what he said? The first thing he said is, "Damn, everything's more expensive now." That's what he said. That's crazy. Let her cook.
The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to
Facts.
work in order to simply survive.
That's a
And
fact.
today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream.
Listen, she and I are both in our 40s, and yeah, people who are her children's age, they don't even believe in American dream, and I don't, and I'm in my 40s. Cook.
And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the
That
most
ain't
conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies because I believe God creates life at conception and I love to fight for the little guy.
I'm pro-choice, but let her rock.
Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against
I'm
COVID
with it.
tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations. And
That
I've
was
never
crazy.
voted to fund foreign wars with your hard earned tax
That's
dollars.
what's up, MTG.
However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8 week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time. And we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the
That's a fact. Keep spitting.
House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass
He
the
stood
plan to
on
save
business.
Americans' health care and protect
Marjorie Taylor
Americans from
B. Greene
outrageous,
stood on
overpriced, and
business.
unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix
Facts.
this disaster. But instead,
Absolutely.
America was force fed disgusting political
Mhm.
drama once again
And bring up that big beautiful bill, Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you're gonna put it out there, that ain't help nobody. Keep spitting. Let's go.
from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making
I don't agree with that. We can have more than one language. It's cool. I like Spanish. I like a lot of languages, so it's not a thing we need. But go ahead.
it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas just sit. They all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer
I think we should have brought them. Whether they're gonna reject it or prove it, bring it up for a vote. I understand that could mean thousands of votes, but that's your job. Like, y'all be on recess for like long periods of time for the year. Like, come on, keep going.
easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media, obediently serving with cult like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points. Because they know how much credit card debt they have, they know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They
Mhm.
actually do their own grocery shopping and no food
Facts.
costs too much.
Too
Their rent
much.
has increasingly gone up and up.
Absolutely.
They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house.
Of
They have
course.
been laid off after being forced to train their visa holding replacement.
It's
The
a fact.
college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary.
He's spitting. Go, just go. Just go. Talk to that nigga, Rock. Talk to that nigga.
They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any
Hell no. That's thousands of dollars a month. What are we talking about?
insurance, and they just aren't stupid. These are the people I represent and love because that is who
So
all
why
of
you
my
quitting?
family and friends are
So why you
common
quitting?
Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. That is filled, the district is filled with some of the most wonderful
Okay, so the fight's just starting. So why are you quitting? Like you're talking about all this cost of living and other issues, and I agree with you. So why are you quitting now? Because the president ain't endorsing you? That's weak. That's weak. But go ahead.
kind hearted, God fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet. Good, regular, common Americans. I've worked hard to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs. I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America. And I led the effort to defund hard left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID, and I did that as chair of the DOJ subcommittee. I have fought harder than almost any
Okay,
other
get to
elected
it.
Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power. I
Okay,
traveled the
get to
country
it.
for years. I spent
So
millions of my own money. I missed
millions.
precious
She
time
had
with
millions
my
of her own
family that
money?
I can never get back. And I
Wow.
showed
I
up
didn't
in
realize she was
places like
rich.
outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat lawfare.
Okay.
Meanwhile, most of the establishment Republicans who secretly hate him and who stabbed him in the back and never defended him against anything have
Get
all
to it,
been
Marjorie.
welcomed in right after the
Let's go.
election. And I will never forget my poor father and my AI
Okay.
state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all
Facts.
involvement in foreign wars, and demanding the release of the Epstein files. Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the
50-year mortgages, that's like indentured servitude. That's like you're gonna be in debt forever. So yeah, I'm with her.
president. Loyalty
And the Epstein files, come on, ain't no one going to prison over that. Ain't no one gonna really be implicated seriously where they're like, oh, we released the files, so we have to arrest people now. Come on now. If they want to arrest people, they wouldn't have released the files. They would have just arrested them. But nothing's gonna happen from it. But continue.
Should be a two-way street. And we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative.
Yes,
America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government.
I agree.
Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result
Epstein
in me
and
being
others.
called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for.
Mhm.
However, while yes, hurtful, my heart remains filled with joy, my life is filled with happiness, and my true convictions remain unchanged.
So why are you
Because
quitting?
my self worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God who created everything in existence.
So why are you
You see,
quitting?
I have never valued power, titles, or attention in spite of all the wrong assumptions about me. I do not cling to those things because they are meaningless and empty traps
So
that
why don't
hold
you
too
fight for
many
what you
people in
believe in,
Washington.
Marjorie?
I believe in term limits and do not think Congress should be a lifelong career
This ain't a lifelong career. You've been in Congress for 5 years. That's 2 terms. Like, what are we talking about?
or an assisted living facility. My only goal and desire has ever been to hold the Republican Party accountable for the promises it makes to the American people and put
So keep
America
doing it.
first.
Why you
And I
quit
have fought
now?
against Democrats' damaging policies like the Green New Deal, wide open, deadly, unsafe border policies, and the trans agenda
So
on
why are you
children
quitting,
and against
Marjorie?
women.
Tell
With
us.
that has brought years of non-stop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single
But
day.
you did, so keep
It has
going.
been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family, but it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious.
Huh. Okay, so let's break it down. So she's saying that the Democrats going to take over the House during the midterms. Yes, they will. Historically, that's accurate. And the president is wildly unpopular. They're definitely taking over the House during the midterms. And so she's saying, why am I going to, even if I were to win the election, why am I going to go to Congress to support a lame duck president who's going to be a lame duck because Democrats will control the House, to support a president who actively tried to get me out of there if he doesn't actually get her up out of there with a primary challenge. Um, I say stand on your square, stick for your principles, whether you're in the minority party, the majority party. If you're in Congress long enough, you're going to be in the majority and you're going to be in the minority, both. And you can't just say, oh, because we're about to be in a minority, I'm quitting. That's weak because that always happens. The party that is not in power that wins the midterms during those midterm elections. That's just how it is. And so it's what do the young folks say? Seasons of your life. Like sometimes you're going to be in power in the majority in the house, and sometimes you're going to be in a minority. What you're saying because I'm going to be in a minority and I'm not going to have the president's support, I'm going to quit. That's weak to me. But cook.
I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as.
So who's going to fight for common Americans? If you quit, I'm not saying she's the savior of our country. I'm saying that like if everyone had her attitude, then how does that lead to any significant change? If it's like, oh well, we're about to be in the minority, so I can't fight for my principles, I can't fight special interests, then you're just resigning yourself to letting them win. But go ahead.
Well, there is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from
Then that's why you form a coalition. You can't do it by yourself. You need to form a coalition. Hook.
gradually destroying our country. And instead, the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington. Then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be
We
resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May
we
God bless you all, and may God bless
we
America.
MTG. I mean, I'm not sure what to say. I mean, a lot of things she was saying, I don't necessarily disagree with. It's just that, so who's going to fight? Who's going to fight for the interests of the American people? Who's going to fight for their constituents? I'm not saying that she's a superhero, that only Marjorie Taylor Greene could save the country. No, I'm saying is that when the going gets tough, that's when you double down and triple down and quadruple down. Like, you don't just quit because, oh, I'm facing some adversity and the president is mad at me. Like, you don't understand. Like, how do you not understand how the president works? Like, the president is like, he just had Zoran Mamdani in the White House who was kissing his ass. Like, if you're cool and you kiss the president's ass, he's going to support you. And if you, go against him, he's going to go against you. But either way, you gotta stand your square. Sauron stood on the square, you know, but when he was in person, he was pretty nice and engaging. But at the same time, Zoran ain't changing his platform. He ain't changing what he's trying to do. He just changed how he spoke to the president when he saw him in person. But he's not shifting his priorities or his policies. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, you could have like played nice with the president, but still stood on business and said, "Hey, we're not pro-Israel, we're not pro-genocide, but for America first." You could have been a strident critic, but not, you know, burned every bridge. So anyway, I think this was weak as hell from her. I think that I don't know the full story behind her life and her personal life. There's a lot behind this shit. And maybe she's getting death threats. Maybe she's getting a lot of issues that we don't know about because there are a lot of people who support the president who are fanatics and who will make death threats and who will try to, take her life because she appears to be a dissenting voice, as if there can't be dissent amongst any political party. But anywho, I appreciate you watching this video. It's your boy Locomotion. Like, share, subscribe. It's another reaction. I'm out.